Hey guys, Heretic U here with another battle report, and we're going Warmachine Hordes once again. Yeah, what is going on? I'm playing too much of this game. That's right. Friend of mine busted out his Convergence, so I figured, what the hell? I've never fought Convergence. I have a new caster that I want to learn, and let's do it up. So here we go.
Alright, go tell me that thing about the keg.
Alright, that's the Steel Soul Keg Protector. Then we have the Cypher, and my Warcaster, Iron Mother Directrix.
This model is badass.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite Cypher.
Yes. And then a flying. See,
and
where are these flying?
Those are her servitors, her special little AI cores. And we have the monitor. Yeah, that's the monitor. But the
is it CRT or flat screen backlit?
There's actually LED lights.
There's an LG logo on the back.
And then there's the inverter.
He has a giant dildo.
He's Mr. Lister, the Sister Fister's robot. And then we have a unit of obstructors, a mitigator, and a galvanizer.
Okay, these things are cool.
I want to meet.
This is the mitigator, and then that's the galvanizer.
Yeah, mitigator, galvanizer.
All right.
I want to meet the man who came up with the galvanizer.
Here's my stuff, and it's the same stuff and everything. Yay!
Okay, so here we go. Turn 1. Convergence. Basically, I won the roll, so I made Convergence go first. I kind of want a preview of where he's going, and to no surprise, he's running up the middle with everything. Pretty standard for a Warmachine first turn, at least in my experience. You know, everyone's just running stuff up. I don't think he's running them though, because I think you have to use focus for that. So I think they just moved up, which kind of threw off my thing. I thought he was going to charge forward as we move on to my turn. The blood trackers, they nominate the Inverter as their prey. So I'm moving towards them, towards it, thinking I can get a round of shooting off, and then I quickly realized, nope, can't out of range there. So gonna use Nuala's special ability to make them move an additional 3 inches, except I pull them back so that they don't get charged. Yeah, I want at least a couple rounds of shooting, except that move is going to sort of stall the Warp Wolf and the Goat from moving forward. I'm going to have to move them kind of off to the side there. But going back to my current activation. Activate the Shifting Stones, they move up, and attempt to cast Rock Hammer, which misses. And scatters nowhere. It scatters somewhere, but it doesn't hit anything. So, you know, nothing of note this first turn. Again, I always joke about skipping first turns in my battle reports, because it's usually stuff that you guys could probably figure out on your own. You don't need my bad commentary on top of that. But I will try and put some sort of insight. So Warp Wolf went with Armor 2. So he went with Armor Plates. And when I activate Chromac, he's going to cast 2 spells. I'm going to cast Wild Aggression on the Warp Wolf and Warpath. And spoiler alert, I'm going to forget about all of those spells in the upcoming turn. Okay, here we go with Convergence turn 2. You see Mark's shifting focus all around. I guess that's Convergence's trick. He starts with Monitor. So Monitor pulls up, and he's going to take a shot. Well, first he tried to declare the blood trackers, but they're stealth, so he couldn't do that. So he's gonna target the Warp Wolf. He's gonna spend a focus to actually boost this shot, and hits, and he does like 7 points of damage to my number 4. So we'll taking an early hit there from that nasty thing. There's the inverter coming up. I guess he's going to meet the girls head on. And then Mark's just sort of shifting the rest of his stuff out there. The galvanizer comes out to play. Those guys that he's moving now, I think they're called obstructors. They're going to move up in shield wall. So he's kind of baiting me into the charge, thinking I'm going to go balls out. But I'm not going for it. And then he runs up Iron Mother, who's camping on a 3 focus. Okay, so circle jerk, turn 2. We're all staring at the inverter. It's this big white refrigerator Art Deco thing that needs to die. So that is my prey for the Vimin. So they're going to line up all their shots on it. And I make sure everyone's in range. Even with all this, though, the guy's defense 10, so not a problem hitting. My main problem was damaging it at dice -8, even with weapon mastery. It's a tough job for them. Yeah, we picked a tough target. I thought I could take it down in 1 activation, but I was wrong. So after all of this, after all this shooting, it's basically gonna he'll be down to 7 boxes at the end of this. So also on top of that, I made a tactical error where I forgot to use their bonus move from Nawala. I forgot to move the girls back, so they're definitely gonna get charged on his turn. I kind of realized that after I moved on, so I didn't want to take back the move, so I activated the shifting stones, hoping to get Rock Hammer off, and hopefully that can destroy it, or maybe take out its movement or something. I do hit because of the low defense, but I roll like garbage on the following roll. I should mention that I also upkept both Warpath and Wild Aggression, and now I'm just going to position everything for the inevitable charge by Convergence next turn. So that's basically it for my turn 2. Yeah, not much else to talk about there. Okay, so here we go. Crick's turn. Cricks. The hell am I talking about? Convergence. Convergence turn. Mark starts by throwing some focus around. Allocates 1 to the inverter, 1 to the galvanizer, and 1 to the looks like the monitor. Then activates Iron Mother and casts Tactical Supremacy on the inverter, which basically means the inverter is going to get to move an additional 3 inches after the entire force has completed all of their actions. So it looks like he's going to rely heavily on the inverter doing some damage here, I think. I'm not sure. Then he shoots the aperture beam at the Warp Wolf, so Warp Wolf is going to be at +2 damage, and then fires, moves the monitor up, boost to hit boost to hit the Warp Wolf, and does another 6 points of damage to it by firing a buzzsaw to its face. And then the galvanizer, at least I think that's the galvanizer, comes up and shoots a laser beam at one of my Veemen, who hits and takes her out. So she's dead. So Mark coming on very aggressive this turn. Charges the inverter in. Charges right for Nawala. Left her open for the charge and one-shots her. So she's dead. So good job, Nawala. Girls look like they're going to be in trouble there. He does have another attack with reach on his other arm, but does no damage. So I'm going to be forced to field promote at this point. And here comes the Obstructors, who charge the Stonekeeper. And the rest kind of hang back and stay in shield wall formation. So we got three guys, three Obstructors in combat. First one misses. Second one nails the Druid and kills him. So circle on the ropes here. And then the other one does damage to one of the rocks there. I think he does like 1 point of damage. The Keg Keeper moves up just short of combat range. So that is one good news for at least my circle. And that's basically his turn. Alright guys, let's go over my turn real quick here. First thing I do is, of course, Drain Fury, and I upkeep Warpath and Wild Aggression. What I'm trying to do here is maneuver the Vimin around to clear a path for the Warp Wolf, because I don't really trust them to be able to take out the Inverter in combat. They're really good at throwing the javelins, but in combat it's going to be a little problematic. So I start moving guys around, accidentally move one a little too far. It leaves the front arc of it, and Mark gets a free hit and kills it. But I start, pecking away at the Inverter, and without weapon mastery and no way to boost, they're just really just hitting it with feather dusters, basically. They're little pillows, whatever you want to say. Also take a shot at the Barrel Keeper and miss it, hit my own guy, and kill her. So that's awesome. That was great. And then I continue to try to scratch the paint off the Inverter, which does nothing. So really, the Warp Wolf has to come in and show the girls what's up, because the girls just in combat are just they're not very effective.
Nice one, +2.
Yeah, I have to.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing fight first. Should I boost this? I think because only Dice Slayer. I'm only Dice Slayer? Yeah, why not? Kill him. You should never listen to Mark. Alright, Claw. Snake Eyes, to be fair. Claw. God dang it! Snake Eyes twice! What the fuck? But you know what's happening are so... How? Because it's me. How? Because it's me. Why aren't you boosting his attack? No, I'm boosting damage now.
Okay, so after the 2 whiffs that you just saw there, the quadruple ones that I rolled, because I'm awesome, Warp Wolf finally gets his head back in the game, and he is going to finish off the Inverter. So that pile of metal will be gone eventually, after I start looking up my stats. So he is dead. He does leave a wreck marker. I try to use Warpath to get further up the field, but going through the wreckage, I think I can only move like 1.5 inches, so not that much of a warpath. I shift the stones in position so that Chromac can run in the middle of them, just so I could teleport Chromac around. That's always a plan I try to do, but never execute. Next I go with the goat. Meh. He then takes a swing at an obstructor and takes that obstructor down with his horns. Good job, goat. And then, because of Warpath, I get to move him into base contact with another obstructor. I think I engaged 2 at this point, just trying to lighten up that unit as well, as the fist punches one off the table and the other fist punches another off the table. I wish I could use Warpath again, but I can't, since I used it on the Warpwolf and the goat at this point. So lastly, Chromac goes and he jumps in the middle of the shifting stones and camps all his fury. Okay guys, Convergence turn. Let's take a look at what they have got in plan. Finally got rid of that that inverter, so let's see how Mark responds. He starts by shifting some focus around and allocates focus, activates Iron Mother. Iron Mother is going to use a spell called Fire Group, which is basically, well, it's gonna buff the jacks in her group. So that's looks like he's gonna plan for a big attack. Actually, I think he spent most of this turn going after the Warpwolf. Pretty smart move, because that's like my heavy hitter. So let's take a look at what else he's going to do. I think at this point he shoots an aperture beam, which is going to increase the defense on the, or lower the defense. It basically puts the Warpwolf at like +2 damage for the turn. And then he charges the my goat. He actually hits, but doesn't do enough damage to hurt the goat. So goat's been untouched this turn, and he's killed 3 models, so that's pretty good. Next, I think this is him shooting the, I think he activates the Cypher. So Cypher's gonna go, Cypher's gonna shoot some kind of thing that lowers the defense of my group. So, you know, Warpwolf is now at +2 damage and -2 defense, so that's pretty bad. Spends another point of focus to launch a, I think it was called Bombard. That's right. So Bombard, especially, I think it's a blast, a 4-inch blast around the werewolf, and is just going to annihilate the girls in the group, and almost bring me to command check status. So that is bad news, and you can see battlefield's getting pretty cleared up there. Then the keg lady wants a piece of the Warpwolf, however is unsuccessful with the charge. So all focus fire on the Warpwolf. So after the miss, he kills another one of my blood trackers and forces me to take the command check, which I pass, and then the obstructors do their job and obstruct. Alright, so moving back on the circle. Start by activating the Warp Wolf. I don't know why I can't freaking talk. I go Warp Strength. I regenerate a couple points of damage, so I get my mind back, because I lost my mind last turn due to all that damage from that monitor just chucking saw blades at my face and just really doing a number on the Warpwolf. Anyways, he was able to, dispatch the keg, Mistress of the Keg, or whatever she's called. Anyways, then I go with the goat, And had I remembered to upkeep Warpath, I could have moved that Wolf forward, but I didn't. I forgot. The one chance that it would have played a factor hadn't. Anyways, there's me going max fury on the goat to take care of that that little light jack that he's got there. Goat just not hitting hard enough, but that's fine. So he's built up some, quite a bit of fury. So I'm gonna have to spend it all this turn, and that way I don't get any, crazy checks. I'm just gonna call them crazy checks. Anyways, girls move up after their new prey, the Monitor. Do some damage to it, but nothing of real significance. I shift the stones up, and then I cast activate Chromac, cast Warpath, and Wild Aggression, and that's my turn. Okay, so Convergence turn. Convergence is gonna go with allocating focus. So you see he leaves 2 on the caster. I think that's 1 on Monitor and 3 on Cypher. He starts by activating his little arc nodes, and they aperture beam the goat. So goat's gonna be at some plus damage here. And then he starts targeting the girls with the second one. So launches a little beam and zaps her. Next, he's gonna move the I think that's the galvanizer, and he's gonna take out, specifically targeting that blood tracker, and zaps her dead. Leaving me with only 2 left, and I had to take a control check, which I passed. Up comes Cypher, who's going to launch a flare at Chromac. Deviates a little bit, but not much. It still hits Chromac, so he's at a minus. Then boosts and buys a second shot, and he's going to go Bombard on Chromac. So it's going to hit him and a rock, and it's going to do a couple points of damage. I think I take 2, which I'm like, okay, I'm fine with. Now he's going to activate Iron Mother, who casts Shrapnel Swarm on Chromac. Now this one's going to hurt. So he ends up doing like 7 points of damage. And so what I do is I use a point of fury, I transfer it to the goat. And so the goat takes 7 to the 5, which means he lost spirit at that point. So he had taken some damage there. And then he moves Iron Mother away. But what he also did was he has no focus on Iron Mother. You know what happens when you don't have focus? Bad stuff is going to happen, looks like. Anyways, the obstructors charge the goat. And do some more damage to it. Anyways, I Unleash Fury, cut myself a couple times so I can heal the goat up, because I need that to happen. It's very important. Just in case this goes back. So, I had mentioned earlier that the Iron Mother has no focus on her. So, that's right. I'm going to be attempting a page 5, which never works out for me, ever. But I'm using Chromac, so he's no pillow-fisted guy. I can go beast mode. I should have went beast mode in the maintenance phase. It's something I forgot to do. I didn't know that you had to do that in the maintenance phase. But luckily, I can do it during my feed. Anyways, so I activate Chromac. He goes beast mode. I put 3 points of damage on him, so I'm coming at Iron Mother with 7 points of fury. It's gonna take 1 to do the leap. So I jump over Jack. How awesome is that? And I get 2 free strikes and connect. And well, basically, let me just sum this up. There's all my fury there. Basically, I start buying and boosting after the 2 hits, and was able to take Iron Mother down, as you see there. So first shot connects, and then I boost and do some damage and everything like that. But thoughts on this game? Pretty fun game. First time ever fighting Convergence, so they're an interesting faction. And my second time playing with Chromac, so still have a lot to learn using the new caster. But I learned a lot from the last game, and I picked up a new Warp Wolf. So I got some reinforcements coming for my next battle. Well, let's just finish this as Chromac just axes the Iron Mother, and that'll do it. So anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, you know, I try to narrate on these things, try to provide some insight, but if I make mistakes, I really appreciate it if a lot of you more knowledgeable players out there, you know, just put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Bye.